Software design and development, legal implications of software development. Google versus China. Google.com was already available in China, but it was shut down and censored a number of times, so it didn't work particularly well. China has very strict requirements and censors all sorts of information available on the internet. As you can see in the image there, lots of sites have been blocked or censored or restricted. Google has strict requirements and censors all information available on the internet. Google launched a fairly censored version of Google called Google.cn, based on the requirements of the government, but to benefit both the Chinese people and government as well as Google. China's authoritarian leadership sees the limitless information available to the Chinese people via the internet as a threat to their control. This has led to development of a formidable censorship system called the Great Firewall that blocks anything that poses a threat to their authoritarian ideology. China's leadership believes that the internet poses a threat to their authoritarian ideology. Therefore, China's leaders believe the internet is a very fragile resource to its citizens and should be controlled accordingly. They see Google as a threat to China as they fail to censor according to China's requirements for its people. The most common search engine in China is called Baidu. It's a Chinese language search engine, similar to but different from Google. Google says that it was targeted by Chinese hackers that tapped into a group of Gmail accounts for multiple activists. This was a targeted attack on Google's infrastructure and caused Google to stop censoring its websites. Since then, Google's results have been sent to Google.hk, a Hong Kong-based site that isn't filtered and creates an evil meter that shows blocked sites and categories. As a result, Google has lost its place as the most profitable and biggest market in the world. However, Chinese users can easily switch to Baidu with the exception of English Chinese speakers. Google wanted to be in China because it could make $300 million a year from China, from the Chinese market, which is very large. We should take this scenario as an example of the ethics of censorship and the varying regulations from country to country. What China sees as protection, others see as unethical restraint. And these differences should be acknowledged and when developing software that can take some form of censorship. We also take from this scenario an awareness of the differences that exist through different nations and different cultures. And the quote there, as a researcher and an English-speaking person, I use Google English a lot, but for most Chinese netizens, they don't care about the Google Chinese version. So Google.hk is the most commonly used. As developers, we need to understand that developing for different countries and different ideologies and different political systems requires us to be sensitive to their needs, but also the needs of their people. Many would argue that Google were taking the stance of free speech and therefore theirs was a more valid argument. The Chinese authority took the stance that we are telling our people what they need to know, and that's all they need to know.